Alright, how's it? Thanks for tuning in to BlakeFIT.com. Today we got the Blue Buffalo breakfast burrito for you. First things first, you got to get the potato cooking. If you're in any kind of cutting phase, opt the potato out. If you're trying to force muscle growth or you have any kind of endurance trial going on today, you want to get your carbohydrates early. So just chop it up. I like to get in close so you get some of the cutting technique. Cool. So you just chop the ends off. Boom. These little stacks, you just make about 3 at a time. You quarter them, and it'll cut the cooking time down in half. Alright, cool. Once we got the potatoes quartered, we went ahead and we added them to the pan with coconut oil, which has a higher flash point than olive oil, so you can cook it a little faster. Also, if you cover it, it should be done in about half the time, maybe like 15 minutes. With coconut oil, you can cook it on a little bit higher of a medium to high heat, but with olive oil you want to keep your never above medium, otherwise you'll denature the olive oil and it'll just become like canola oil, lose all its healing properties, which we really want to preserve. Cool, now I'm going to turn it over to Nick, the Blue Buffalo breakfast burrito. Hope you enjoy. Stop it.
Okay, so we're going to make the buffalo burrito. It's the Blue Buffalo burrito. All we have is 3 eggs, our vegetables here, broccoli, a little bit of red cabbage, cauliflower, tomatoes, carrot, onions, garlic, black beans, red pepper, and my taco shells. These are actually, you can argue they're more nutritious than the flour ones. If you look at the calorie content, there's less calories per serving on the corn. I'd recommend not getting the GMO corn brand, but that's me. We got our potatoes cooking over here. I'm just going to start to work with some of the vegetables. Okay, we're going to use these onions for both the potato dish and the tacos. I'll probably just use 3/4 of this for the potatoes, and that was for 2 potatoes, and then the other quarter will just get tossed in the eggs. So now we're just going to crack the eggs. The eggs we're using, straight off a Costa Rican farm, they're pasture eggs, which means the chicken gets to, graze naturally in the pasture. They get to eat a more natural diet, so you can argue that it's a healthier.
I feel healthier.
Feel better about it.
Well, I think
chickens are going to give us these eggs to eat, then we might as well show them the respect that I think all living forms should have, to have like a life that's in unison with how they're supposed to live, or at least as close to it as possible. Okay, so now we're going to prepare the garlic. It's super easy. This is actually, we've already taken from the clove. What you can do, if you just basically take a whole clove without breaking off the individual cloves, you can just beat it with the back of your hand. A little karate chop. Probably need a little bit bigger of a cutting board so we don't lose all them veggies. See how easy it came off. Don't forget to turn your potatoes while you're chopping your vegetables and things like that, because you don't want them to burn. All kinds of crazy shit happen.
So how much garlic for 4 mini burritos?
Okay, well this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cloves we used here. The combination between the burritos and the potatoes. And we have enough tacos for, anywhere from 2 to 4 people to eat, depending on appetites and fitness goals. So,
garlic's something that's so important every day, and most healthy people don't get the necessary dose. It's so good for detoxifying your blood. And if you look at any kind of Gerson diet or people that have healed themselves from cancer through a plant-based diet, garlic is an everyday, along with ginger and turmeric. Alright, cool. So we just got maybe a few more minutes on the potatoes. We want to wait until we got about 5 minutes until they're done to cook the eggs. The eggs are going to be our ovo protein, which is a medium release protein. Takes about 40 minutes to get into your bloodstream and feeds for about 1.5 to 2 hours. And then we got our beans, another fantastic source of protein. I like to spice mine up and make sure I get my everyday veggie protein as well. So I'm just going to take these florets of broccoli. The florets are actually going to be 26% protein by weight. And I really like the flavor of these Blue Buffalo burritos, so I don't want to overdo it with the stock. The stock's great for you. It's a great source of fiber, but I'm really just going for the protein content from these veggies. So I'm just going to grate them up. So once you got your broccoli and your cauliflower in a bowl, a nice big pile here, we're going to wait. We're actually going to put this on the eggs at the very, very end, right before we take the eggs off, just so it gets nice and warm, so it's a consistent temperature hitting your palate. But we don't want to denature any of the protein. It's a very fragile state because we just grated all the florets. Most people don't prepare broccoli and cauliflower like this so much, but this is a really, really big everyday vegetable for me.
And that way you can keep it raw, and it's not very invasive. You can just put it in whatever you want, smoothies, shakes.
And it really doesn't affect the flavor, and it's just phenomenal source of amino acids straight from veggie. So we're going to put these aside for getting to the eggs. On to the next.
Okay, so now we're just going to throw a little fresh rosemary on the potatoes. Just a couple little leaves. Salt to taste. And then we're going to take about half our garlic mixture.
Cool, so now we're going to cook up the eggs. I wanted to bring back talking about free range. Earlier you brought that up, and I think that's just so interesting. It's like a pretty new concept in America. I mean, people have heard about it for a while, but only really now I think people are starting to care a little bit more. And I think for me, the most interesting part is looking at your food in a different light. Like, what kind of spirit are you absorbing if this thing has been
mistreated from day one?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. Like, how can you know? I'm definitely on this quest. I'd like to be as mentally, physically, and spiritually sound, all equally and balanced. But, so much of our mental and spiritual is derived from what we eat. And, it's very, very interesting. All right, here we go pretty early on. We threw in the beans, which have a fantastic carbohydrate to protein ratio at about 2 to 1. But it's a fantastic source of folic acid. And we got our carrots and red peppers. A little bit later, we're going to toss in the tomatoes so they don't cook too much. Just when you got a couple minutes left. And finally, we're going to toss in the onions and the broccoli and the cauliflower.
They're in their final stages. They're actually done cooking. I just turned the burners off now. We're going to add a little bit of the buffalo sauce. This, again, do it to taste. All this is wing sauce. It's a combination of vinegar and usually some type of butter or oil and a little bit of cayenne pepper. So we're just going to sprinkle it in to taste.
Here we go. We just chopped up some red cabbage. Throw it into the mix. Get our purple antioxidants, those flavonoids that are so important for cancer fighting. Potatoes and the eggs are done. Everything looks fantastic. We're just getting the tortillas heated. While we're doing so, we'll go ahead and cut the avo.
Okay, so we have our organic blue cheese right here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to mix the organic blue cheese Okay, the easiest way to cut an avocado is have it, twist it, take a knife into the seed, core it, twist the knife. What we're doing now is we're mixing the avocado and the blue cheese together. So now this is just a unique twist on avocado. It's avocado mixed with blue cheese, and it gives these burritos that extra pop that makes them really unique because it's, you know, buffalo.
It's also packed with potassium, which, you know, often is the #1 hindrance of athletes cramping up. I mean, it's a huge factor when it comes to surfing for hours on end.
Alright, so now we're going to plate our buffalo blue cheese tacos. We're going to throw the egg mixture.
It's the buffalo blue burrito, breakfast burrito. Yeah, I don't fucking know it.
So now we're plating the blue buffalo breakfast burrito. Technically, it's a taco.
But I really appreciate the alliteration and poetic devices in the naming of your blue buffalo breakfast burrito. I'm sure all the people at BlakeFIT do too.
So now we're just topping out our tacos with our blue cheese avocado mixture. Just give it a little bit more flavor explosion. Bon appetit.
Flavor explosion. Thanks for tuning in. I was actually supposed to wait to the presentation of the plated final product to give the review, but couldn't help myself. I already downed one of them. The flavor is just phenomenal. I love the avocado blue cheese topping, which my buddy Nick actually gets direct from the Mennonites, like free range style. And you can't taste the broccoli and cauliflower at all. I just love knowing that all this added protein and good quality aminos are in there. Yeah, with the florette technique, you know, you can't go wrong. So until next time, enjoy.